So, hello everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a Challenger Lulu support commentary. Lulu has been a pretty strong support for many patches now, and the main reason why she's really strong is because she does really well into most team comps. Like, she's really good at denying a lot of specific picks, like assassins, and she also has a very strong laning phase. She doesn't really lose to lane to anyone right now, and Karma's probably Lulu's worst matchup, I would say. Maybe Zyra's also equally as bad, but basically she has very few matchups that are super bad. And especially since Kog'Maw also got buffs a lot, she works really well with a hyper carry. Varus is okay, but I just picked her because she's pretty much always first pick worthy in solo queue. She's just that strong in my opinion. Runes and Masteries are the same as usual. I showed them already on screen. But this is the same rune page that I use for most of my supports. It's just a nice balance of flat AP and armor so that I can optimize my trades in lane. And in this lane in particular, I'm really looking to make sure that I dictate the pace of the lane because they have a Draven, and as long as Draven doesn't get a kill during the laning phase, we should be good to go because once we hit 6, we definitely beat them in a level 6 all in. So as long as Draven doesn't get a kill, we should be fine. And Karma does trading a bit better than Lulu, so I'm gonna try to do my best to make sure I can win lane against a Karma. So I even took Ignite to make sure that we have even more lane pressure, because I think Ignite gives you a lot more lane pressure than Exhaust. So you can see that the Draven and Karma are actually waiting for us in the bush, so we'd like to do a small trade here. They come a little bit on top, mostly because Draven has a D-Blade and Varus has a D-Shield. I don't know why the Karma just flashed in like that. I think that if she was a little closer, she could have maybe gotten a Q Ignite off, and that wouldn't have killed the Varus, but would have gotten him really low. But I think I was standing in front of Karma's way when she flashed in, which is why I think she went for the Q. But Karma flashes down, which I guess is fine. But you can see how aggressive they're trying to be in the lane already. And you can see that Varus also started D-Shield, and I think that D-Shield's actually not a bad start for a lot of ADs. I think that in lane matchups where you can't really out-trade the enemy AD, it's definitely best to get D-Shield, because you just sustain a lot in lane, and it'll at least guarantee you'll get a little bit of farm. You can see that we're just going to let them get level 2, going to try to help the Varus get last hits under tower by autoing those creeps, and yeah, it's going to be a pretty tame lane for now. Now that we're both level 2, they're not going to try to be as aggressive because with Thunderlords, which is the keystone I'm running, I trade really well because I can just do an E auto Q and that procs Thunderlords. And I'm using my E really defensively in general. That Q there was kind of bad just because I used it through the minion wave, so it's slowly pushing towards us. But I didn't really care at that point because you can see on the minimap that Gragas did show top before, so I knew he wasn't bot, so it didn't really matter. That's also the reason why I'm not really going to go ward the river right now, because there isn't really a point in warding it when I know he's not coming. Now we are level 3, which is why I'm running up right now. I'm going to get the polymorph on him, get a nice slow. We're just going to auto-trade a lot. You can see that now Karma goes for Ignite, so I'm ready to just go help with the all-in. You can see right there, I can actually rewind that a little bit just to show you guys exactly what boiled down. But anyway, went in because we hit level 3 first. I know we have the advantage of the all-in, even though Draven does more damage than us. I'm just going to use everything on Draven, because I know that it's a lot more important for me to kill Draven first. And it's more important for us to secure first blood than it is just to keep the Varus alive. So I don't even care if I take the kill right now, because I just need to make sure the Draven doesn't get the kill. Unfortunately, the Draven does end up getting the kill after he dies. So I get first blood. Draven ends up securing 1 kill, but it's less gold. Because he doesn't get as many stacks from his passive because he died. So it wasn't terrible. And right now, I know I could 1v1 the Karma. I think Lulu's 1v1 is actually really good. So I'm already winning the trades against Karma, so she just has to back off right now. And now I'm going to help shove the lane because this lane's in a really bad spot for us. If I try to lead the lane right here in this state, the Karma can freeze. And then we'll be even a worse spot when the Draven comes back because now he gets all this farm and XP. So I'm just trying to shove right now. I have no idea why the Karma is staying here like this. Like, you can see that she's just trying to bother me. She uses the mantra W to get more life. But now I see she's out of position. I know she doesn't have flash, so I'm just going to go for a flash E, auto Q, get Thunderlords off and kill her. I have no idea why she just did that. I think that was really greedy of her. I think she just really underestimated my damage. So yeah, 2 kills for me. So yeah, now I really do have to carry this lane since I'm definitely the strongest person on the map right now. I end up going for Frostfang, Ruby Crystal, and Boots, as well as a Control Ward, instead of even going for a Sightstone. I don't think it's important for me to get Sightstone right now, because I think that it's absolutely most important for me to get as many combat stats as possible for this lane. And getting a Frostfang, Ruby Crystal, gives me the most stats for handling trades, and then a Boots and Control Ward should be sufficient, because having Boots lets me initiate and pick fights better, and having one Control Ward is, I think, in my opinion, right now, still enough vision for us to control the lane, because I can always put the Control Ward in the river, and it should last there for a really long time if we have lane pressure. Now we see Graves is trying to get some space here. We see him zoning out the Karma and stuff like that, but we're not really going to try to help him. The wave is a really good spot for us because it's pushing towards us and there's tons of range creeps. So we're actually going to start a freeze here. And since we want to trade earlier against Raven, we know he's about half health and he most likely recalled. So we're just going to sit here and just freeze. Like, there's no reason for us to be pushing the lane right now, because if we let the wave push towards us, they're going to lose way more CS than if we push the wave all the way to their tower. So we're going to sit here, let the wave push in. Not going to auto anything. Karma's just sitting in the back trying to get some experience. I don't really want to trade against that because there's so many creeps here. And if I start trading against the Karma, I'll get aggroed. So I'm just going to stay back. We also have a ward that just saw the Gragas. So we know the Gragas is bot side. We're definitely not going to try anything aggressive. We'll just chill here. It's fine. But yeah, you can see, just did a trade right there. E auto Q, like I said. Procs Underlords, and even with the Karma Shield, I do an okay amount to Draven with my Frostfang, so that's quite nice. Oh yeah, I also didn't really mention anything about the new quest for support ends, which I guess I could briefly talk about that. So basically, in general, I think the quest for Frostfang is really good, especially for supports like Karma and Lulu, because getting the speed boost is super, super good. Like for Karma, for example, once she gets the quest completed and she gets a speed boost on every tick of her Frostfang, then she can W somebody and then start running really fast, and they'll basically never get out of the snare. And she doesn't even have to use her E as a speed up in that situation, which is quite good. Same thing for Lulu. Like with Lulu, I can just get an E or Q on someone for the speed up. I don't have to use a W on myself for the speed up, which you shouldn't really do anyways if you're going for a trade. But yeah, that's just a really nice quest to do. I don't think the coin is very good anymore. I think the quest for the coin is just awful. Bargain's price is okay. Anyways, I digress. Anyways, yeah, Varus is going for more trades. Pretty good. Gonna go for an E, back off just to get rid of the W. And now we see that they're just gonna go all in once again. I'm gonna go for an auto, polymorph. Driven doesn't get off another auto, which is huge. Varus gets a really nice heal off, so he lives. And now I get another Q off. Just gonna chase the Lulu. Just gonna chase the Karma now. Get another E off. Holding on to my Q because I see the Karma's just dodging like that. Let's actually rewind that just to show that again. So after this, you can see my Ignite is maybe a little late. Could have maybe ignited a little earlier to get some more damage off, because this was just really close. But Varus played that super well. But you can see, as I said before, my Q's on cooldown, but it's coming back up. So I'm gonna throw the E, but I'm not gonna use a Q just yet because the Karma was just kind of juking me, and Varus was also charging up an arrow, and I'd rather give him the kill. So that was just pretty nice, nice 2v2 all in from us. And unfortunately, top lane just got wrecked. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this pink ward right here. Gonna also proc my Frostfang on this tower just so I get a bit more gold income. And we can't take the tower this wave. We don't have enough damage. Varus, because once again, Varus got a D shield. We're not that strong yet. So unfortunately, we do have to just back here. But 2 kills for Varus is very nice. He's getting really close to finishing his Bork. Now I'm going to go ahead. I got a lot of money. Upgrade to Boots of Mobility and Sightstone. Boots of Mobility is pretty useful because I think Boots of Mobility is really good for lane pressure. If you have Boots of Mobility over your opponent, you can just kind of walk in and out during the lane, and your opponent can't really do anything. They're just kind of screwed. And now it's a good time to get Sightstone because it's getting a little bit towards the end of the laning phase, and I definitely want to see the roams. So my bot lane actually roams mid here. Let's actually rewind that. And I think this is definitely a correct play to do bot lane, because you can see that we're shoved in. For all I know, they could have maybe gone back. I don't really know. But since our mid lane got shoved in, they just decided to run straight mid, start hitting our Victor, and actually get the kill on him. So that was a very good play by their part. Now the Greaves is getting chased, so I'm going to run up and try to help him. Get a Q off to slow them. I'm just going to back off now. Drop some wards in the meantime. I dropped one ward here, one ward here. This is just to watch the rotation from mid to bot or bot to mid. And now Varus is hiding in the bush right here. So right now, I showed myself right there just to bait. And now as soon as Karma steps out, we're going to try to all in. I W the Draven, so that way he gets rooted after the Varus ult is done, and he can't do anything right now. Because the Draven can't really auto us, we're out of range, and now we're just autoing the Karma for free. So we're trading super well. They collapse on me. I'm going to ult myself. I take a lot of damage, but note right here that I'm going to chug a health pot like right now. And by chugging a biscuit, I'm going to flash out. Draven also flashes to get one more auto off me, and I live with 12 health right here. And if I didn't chug that health pot there, Draven would have gotten a kill, which would have been super bad. But luckily for us, since I didn't do that, and they used everything on me, they end up dying. And I'm staying really far back, but luckily with mobility boots, I am going to get enough into range where I can just speed up the Varus. Missed my Q right there, it doesn't really matter though. With the speed up and my shield damage, Varus is going to be able to get a quadra kill. So that was just a really good turnaround on our part. It was really important that Varus and I focus the Karma first. Pretty much don't do anything to the Draven since he was out of the fight initially, and then kite back really well, and not giving Draven a kill. So now that we killed them all, we can take this tower safely. Get him back right now, let Varus have first blood money, or first blood tower money by himself. Really, really good for us. We're in an excellent spot. So now let's think for a second. So we just took down the bot tower. Our top lane is 0-3 against this Pantheon, who's 4-0. So obviously not good for our top lane. What I've basically said is that top lane, you go bot lane, and Varus and I will go top. The reason why you do this is because by making both of us go top, we're putting our team in a better position where we can kill the Pantheon, and the Pantheon can't really leave the lane, because if he leaves lane to go ult mid or ult bot, then we just get the tower. And at this point, Fiora is pretty useless, so it doesn't really matter if she dies anymore, but it's a lot more important for us to get towers and possibly kill the Pantheon. The Fiora probably can't do anything in this 2v1 situation, but she could definitely get experience and maybe a little bit of CS under tower a lot more safely than if she was leading against Pantheon. So go ahead and put some wards down, put a pink here, put a green ward here just to make sure that nothing here is warded, and it doesn't seem like anything's warded here. So I'm pretty sure that Pantheon does not know I am top just yet. However, I popped the Scrying Orb, see the Gragas, so I'm just gonna run. I see the Ryze was walking up, just gonna leave, and Pantheon is actually back in lane. So the thing is, I really want to kill Pantheon. However, I can't just walk up to lane and kill him, because as soon as I walk up, he's just going to back off, and I really want to kill him. So what I'm going to try to do is that I'm going to try to stay just out of sight of these creeps and wait for the Pantheon to W in. Because once the Pantheon W's in onto the Varus, then we can go in for the kill. Because once he jumps in, he can't really get out, and then I can ult the Varus as the Pantheon jumps in, I can W the Pantheon, then he's just dead. So I look to run mid just in case I could get there in time, but I can't. So now I'm just going to sit up top. Gonna wait. Pantheon jumps in here. Perfect time. Gonna go for the ult. Varus now ults. I go for the polymorph. Just gonna layer all our CC together. The ignite was probably a little bit of an overkill, but yeah, easy kill. Really nice bait by the Varus. And now we take the tower for free. We absolutely push right here. Can't do it this wave, we'll do it next wave. Gragas has to come top to defend, but it doesn't really matter. He can't 1v2 us. There's no way. The Varus is very, very strong. So just gonna keep healing the Varus. Auto tower for free. And we get it. Nice. So now top tower is done. This is really good for us. Next objective is to go mid. Mid is the last tower up, and getting mid is really important because it opens up the map a lot more. So I go ahead, get Eye of the Watchers, Forbidden Idol, and more control wards. Eye of the Watcher is really good. I get it early just because I like having the extra 10% TDR, and I also think that having the extra wards is good as well. So I'm going to run down, see Karma drops a ward, gonna go ahead and sweep it. Gonna start shifting my wards over to mid side. So since I know the Ryze is dead, I see Gragas mid, I know it's really safe to walk up here, so I'm gonna go drop one ward here in their jungle. And these two wards are really good because it pretty much gives us the entire vision of their jungle, and we can see if Gragas is gonna go do Raptors, if the Gragas is gonna go do red, and there's no real way they can ever flank us if we siege mid like this, because the only way they can flank us is from this top side. But if they come from the top side, Pantheon's just gonna ult like this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. you can see his Pantheon is going to ult in. I don't have my ult, but I end up polymorphing, shielding the Varus through the Ignite, which is quite good. So that was actually a pretty failed gank by them. And really nice for us because now we get a lot more pressure in mid. Once again, going to shield the Victor in the trade. Polymorph the Draven after he's done getting CC'd by the field just to maximize your CC duration. And wow, Draven almost dies from that Graves ult, but that's okay. It's more important for us to take that tower, which is really good. You can see the ward over here saw the Gragas, so Victor's gonna get a pretty free kill just like that because of my vision. Once again, always shielding the target that's taking the turret aggro right now. Pretty nice for us. So the Pantheon's gonna jump in. I ult the Pantheon mid jump so he doesn't get the stun off, but that's unfortunately not gonna be enough because the Pantheon's just gonna eat the Victor, just gonna poke him with spears. However, gonna get the polymorph off now. Keep on CCing the Pantheon. Graves should be able to secure this kill. Nice. So now Graves is in kind of a bad spot. I'm also in a little bit of a bad spot. I'm really low mana and low health. However, I'm gonna shield the Graves. Try to throw a slow. I don't have my W up because I'm out of mana, but I'm gonna try to stay near the Graves because I really don't want him to die to this Draven. Once again, it'd be really bad if Draven got a kill. So I'm just gonna stay around, give him the speed up, and then just run out. Not going in the same direction as him because the Ryze could possibly ult, and I don't want to go in the same direction as him because if the Ryze ends up catching up to both of us, we'll just die. So I'd rather split up this way to make Ryze make a decision on who to chase, and so he decides to choose the Graves because I'm a lot faster than Graves. But luckily he's able to get out because I W'd him earlier, so that's pretty nice for us. Now I'm going to start working my way towards a Redemption. I think Redemption first item is always really safe and solid on most supports. Not really much to say. I guess in terms of skill points, I'm starting to max points into W. I think you should start maxing W as soon as you're done with the laning phase, but otherwise keep putting points into E. Because I think you want your W to be as high points as possible for team fights, because having a 2-second polymorph is very, very strong. So Rift Herald's going to be our next objective. Since we already took mid tower, it's a little hard to break tier 2s. So by getting Rift Herald, which is very strong by the way, it's very, very good at breaking tier 2, even tier 3 towers. So I'm going to start establishing our vision. Now I'm going to sweep this area, just checking these 2 spots right here just in case, because I want the Varus to have a really safe time farming topside. And if I know there's no vision up here, they don't know if I'm ever going to be right behind the Varus like that first time when I was helping the Varus getting the kill in the Pantheon. So I know Varus is probably okay. I'm kind of shifting towards mid and bot, but I see that all of them are bot side, so I'm just going to start running down immediately, because I see Victor and Graves are fighting. They do quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately, the Graves does die right here, and Victor's by himself. So I'm just about coming. I see the Draven to flash over. I actually end up flashing to get the ult off, and I'm going to throw a shield on the Victor, make sure he's alive. Now I'm going to slow down the Draven, polymorph him as soon as it comes up. And just gonna ignite and just keep on autoing him. You can't really do much to me. I'm actually quite strong, which is funny. And Karma flashed over the wall, so she's just kinda dead. She didn't flash over, she got hit by the blast gun, but yeah, she's just dead to Fiora. Now, see there's a red here. Gonna go help my Varus pick that up. Also gonna re-ward the area, drop one more ward right here. Once again, this is a really good ward. And I'll just get out. No reason to stay. Redemption is done. Ooh, actually Varus is gonna get a kill right here, that's cool. But Redemption is done. Gonna work my way towards getting an Ardent Censer next. I think that in this game, since our Varus is extremely strong, it's best for me to get an Ardent Censer to help support the Varus, because it'll add a lot more to his damage. And actually, hold that thought. This is actually the biggest mistake I will make all game. So I end up trying to go for a ward right here, and the Gragas ends up body slamming me, and I almost die. And if the Gragas ulted right there, I 100% would have died. And I really shouldn't have done that because, one, the ward I placed here earlier got cleared. So, because it got cleared, it's pretty likely that this is also warded. And face checking like that is never a good idea, especially on Lulu, since I don't really have a good way of checking the bush besides a Q, and if I get into range to Q, I'm already getting range for Gragas dash. So, just kind of doing a drive-by ward, which is what I was trying to do, is probably not the best idea if someone's waiting there. And I should have got punished a lot more heavily for that, but that was a really bad mistake on my part. You never really want to go for wards like that. But I see the Victor's caught. Gonna try to ult him, Redemption, shield him. Really just do my best to keep him alive. The Redemption does buy him a little bit more time. Unfortunately, the Karma doesn't die though. But we end up getting a kill on Draven. It's not terrible. Did my best. I'll just speed up the Varus. Gonna keep trying to contest the vision on this one bush right here, because once again, this is super important that I ward this, just so we can see all their champions that are going to be walking through this area, because they're going to be rotating around a lot, especially since we just took Dragon. Now I'm going to shift my wards to this top side. Once again, I do want to get the Rift Herald at some point, so having these two wards right here pretty much sees the most common path that most blue side people would take to walk up to Rift Herald. I would like to try to get one more ward in this spot right here if I had the extra ward space, but I didn't, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, with this vision, you can see Graves and Varus are starting to head up already. This is going to be extremely safe. Now we're just going to do it. We'll see them walk up from mid if they do end up walking up, so that's why these wards are really good. Yeah, I'm not really needing to stay with them immediately at Rift Herald. I'm always kind of just floating around between two different areas, because with mobility boots and W on myself, I can get to areas really fast if my team needs my support. So that's what you kind of want to do. I don't really need to babysit Varus 24/7. I can always just roam around a little. So Victor is just kind of wrecking them right now. I'm going to run down immediately just to try to help him. He does a really nice juke right here. He ends up sidestepping, and I'm just going to go for a shield. Polymorph the Gragas so he can't get out. Gets a nice laser. Pretty easy stuff. Now Pantheon's going to come in, so I'm going to shield him. Go for the ult, which was a little late just because I should have ulted to stop the stun from the Pantheon. Get the Redemption off, so now he's out of kill range for the Pantheon. I get Ignite. Kill Pantheon. This is pretty easy stuff, and now the game is basically over at this point. So they're actually going to surrender right here. So I guess in general, this game did a really good job at showing what I did outside of the laning phase. So immediately after this tower is dead, went to go get top, went to go get mid, help establish pressure around mid so that way we could get Dragon, then we got Rift Herald, and that pretty much sealed the deal for this game. And I was always pretty much at the right spot at the right time, and I think that's why it's really important to get mobility boots, because I was always kind of staying between two areas that could potentially have fighting or events going on, and because of my positioning, I was able to get to fights exactly on time to shield the right people and polymorph the right enemies. So yeah, that's kind of the power of Lulu in general. And yeah, I think this was a pretty clean game, never died a single time, and I think I did a pretty good job at carrying my team from our early deficit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this Lulu commentary.